discovered Millionaire's life-changing moment when a cleaning lady protects his special daughter. Anna woke before dawn, the familiar chill of morning air brushing against her skin. She glanced at her sleeping daughter, Lily, her heart heavy yet hopeful. With each day, through sweat and sacrifice, she fought for a better life. Maplewood sparkled in the sunlight. Lawns were pristine, pockets of laughter echoed, but Anna knew the struggle of many pinned down by their dreams. She straightened her back, ready for another busy day. As Anna rushed through her chores, she stopped to breathe in the sweet scent of morning dew. She found herself at the community fair's banquet hall, working her fingers to the bone, scrubbing tables that would soon be adorned with colorful banners and joyful families. The fair was a symbol of hope, a celebration Anna wanted for her girl, where Lily could feel included and loved. Across town, Mark managed his corporate empire, the weight of unfulfilled expectations pressing on his shoulders. Beneath his polished exterior, a deep emptiness thrived, unnoticed. His daughter, Emily, sat in the back seat of his high-end car, fingers tapping nervously on her phone, a world of silent agony hidden behind a glossy surface. She longed for a father's attention, but Mark's mind was consumed by profit margins and power plays. The thought of her father's approval haunted her. The day of the fair arrived with a shimmer of excitement. The sun bathed Maplewood in warmth, promising joy and laughter. Yet, as children dashed around, engrossed in festivities, the atmosphere spun into chaos. A group of kids careened past the baking station, which had become a beautiful town centerpiece, and in a split second, Emily found herself teetering dangerously near its edge, panic flooding her senses. Anna was scrubbing away, her eyes sharp as she surveyed the scene. Joy and free-spirited laughter filled the air. It was all a blur. But then, she saw Emily. Her heart raced, adrenaline surged through her veins. With one swift motion, Anna lunged, grasping Emily's arm just as she lost her balance, pulling her safely away from the brink. The moment hung in the air. The crowd gasped as reality felt suspended. Mark stood frozen, disbelief washing over him. Who was this woman, this cleaning lady, who had saved his daughter? A rush of colors poured into his world of grays. It wasn't just Emily's life that had been saved. It was Mark's as well. It forced him to reckon with the harsh truths he had buried in pursuit of wealth. The eyes of the crowd turned towards Anna, their admiration palpable, and something inside Mark began to shift. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Amidst the tumult, whispers of gratitude showered over Anna, but she could hardly absorb it. Her focus remained on Emily, whose wide eyes reflected both fright and relief. In that fleeting moment, Anna embodied resilience, her humble life, and unwavering courage starkly illuminating Mark's careless pursuits. As the townspeople began to talk, a wave of reflection engulfed Mark. He knew he had a choice to make. Would he step back from the gilded cage of his success and connect with what truly mattered? Or would he continue living in a fabricated world, blind to the beauty surrounding him? The tension crackled in the air, leaving an undeniable question. Could their worlds merge, or would the chasm between them grow ever wider? Anna had sparked a transformative moment that could either alter every life in Maplewood or break under the weight of silence. Anna felt the weight of the moment settle over her like a warm blanket, as if the world had paused just for her. She crouched beside Emily, their eyes locked in mutual understanding. "Are you all right?" she asked gently, searching for any sign of pain beyond the fear that had gripped the girl. Emily took a shaky breath, and for the first time, Anna noticed the girl's delicate features. She had the same bright blue eyes as Mark's eyes that held a nervous energy, yet now were lit with gratitude. I think so," Emily managed to whisper, glancing back toward the baking station, which had been the source of her near fall. The crowd began to disperse, the excitement of the fair momentarily overshadowed by the incident. Whispers of admiration surrounded Anna, wrapping her like a cloak of warmth, Yet she remained grounded, focused solely on the girl before her. Just beyond them, Mark emerged from his state of shock, taking hesitant steps towards his daughter. He reached them, breathless, his expression a blend of relief and awe. "Emily, are you?" His words caught in his throat as he turned his gaze to Anna. Thank you so much for saving her." Anna nodded, a simple gesture, yet it felt monumental. She wasn't seeking praise, but recognition. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, she replied, her voice shaking slightly. "But you reacted so quickly," Mark insisted, his admiration bursting forth unfiltered. "I don't even know your name." "Anna," she whispered, still kneeling beside Emily, acutely aware of the shift in Mark's demeanor, as if he was stepping out of a shadow deeper than the one cast by the sun. Mark took a breath. "Anna, I owe you." He looked at Emily, who was now inching away from the baking station, her small hand still timidly clutching Anna's. "Dad, can we go look at the animals?" Emily requested, her voice wary but hopeful, as if she was testing the waters for a new connection with her father. "Of course, sweetheart," Mark replied, a spark of determination igniting within him. "But first, can I invite you to join us? To celebrate the fair you saved my daughter, and we should celebrate that as well." Anna hesitated, her instincts urging her to retreat. This world, filled with wealth and status, felt foreign and unreachable. "I don't think that's necessary, please." "Anna," Mark interrupted gently, the sincerity crashing over his usual cold demeanor like a wave. "You've done something incredible today. It's not just about us. It's about making connections." The crowd faded into the background, and all Anna could see was the look in Mark's eyes, one that echoed the urgency to change. She took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face, and smiled at Emily, whose eyes sparkled with hope. "Okay, I do like that." As the three of them walked toward the exhibits, Anna felt the nuances of their lives swirling around them. It was a small moment, but it felt monumental. The air was taut with anticipation. Could this simple connection change everything? Mark found himself stealing glances at Anna, noting her strength and determination. She was a stark contrast to the world he had built. Did he really want to return to that hollow existence? He brushed his knuckles along the back of Emily's hand, his heart swelling with something he and T felt in years' hope. Just a hint of connection woven into the fabric of their different worlds. But looming questions lingered, echoing through the joyful atmosphere. Could a cleaning lady and a millionaire truly navigate the complexities of their different lives? Would this fleeting moment inspire a lasting bond, or would it fade into the noise of the fair, like slipping confetti in the breeze? As they approached the petting zoo, a melodious jingle punctured the air, and just like that, a new adventure began. But what Anna didn't expect was that this day would unravel hidden truths neither of them were prepared to face. As they stepped toward the petting zoo, the cheerful chaos of the fair wrapped around them. Brightly colored tents fluttered, and laughter spilled from children cradling fluffy animals. But in the vibrant midst of it all, Anna felt an unfamiliar tightness in her chest. They were stepping into a realm so far removed from her own. Emily was practically bouncing now, pointing excitedly at the goats and sheep. "Look, Dad, can I pet that one?" Her enthusiasm was infectious, a sweet balm for the tension still lingering in the air. Mark nodded, his gaze shifting to Anna. "You okay with this? I know it's a bit frantic here." His voice was low, a comforting thread woven through the noise. Anna smiled, though it was tinged with uncertainty. "Yeah, it's nice." But inside, she was wrestling with her own insecurities. She never imagined herself in a setting like this, surrounded by parents who seemed so effortlessly composed. Did they see her for who she really was, or were they just caught up in the moment? As they approached the petting area, a small boy shrieked in delight, sending a few nearby parents into fits of laughter. Anna couldn't help but chuckle too. In that instant, Emily turned to her with a beaming smile that was pure sunshine. "Would you help me?" Emily asked, her eyes wide with expectation. "I want to hold the baby goat." Anna nodded. "Of course." They approached a gentle, soft-eyed goat that seemed more curious than mischievous. As Emily knelt, Anna's heart swelled witnessing the girl's joy. But while Emily was captivated, Anna's gaze drifted back to Mark. He stood a few steps away, leaning against the fence. There was a softness to his expression, a remnant of the urgency that had colored their earlier exchange. "What is going through your mind?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper, hoping to break the invisible barrier still lingering between them. Mark looked at her, surprise and vulnerability flickering in his eyes. Just wondering how someone like you could be so brave. The compliment rolled over Anna, stirring something deep inside her. I wasn't being brave. I just did what anyone would. Mark shook his head. No, Anna. What you did was instinctive. Not everyone has that kind of heart. She felt her breath hitch. The weight of his words washed over her like a tide, drawing her out further from the shore of her fears. Do you wish you could be more like that? Mark continued, his tone softer. Like, brave enough to step away from all this? He gestured around, to the fair, to the people, to the life he had built that now felt like a cage. Anna hesitated. The thought sent a thrill through her. Maybe, but the truth felt lodged somewhere deep inside her, tangled with doubts. But it's easier to stay safe. At that moment, a sudden baritone voice cut through their conversation. Hey, Mark. A friend of his waved. Their earlier moment shattered in an instant. Mark straightened, shifting gears. I'll be right back, he said, pressing a hand briefly on Anna's shoulder before heading off. Just like that, the moment was gone, taken by the bustle of connections and familiarity. As Anna watched him go, she felt an unexpected pang of disappointment. Could they have gone deeper? Was anyone else aware of the rising tension between their worlds? Emily squeaked in delight, holding the baby goat against her chest, blissfully unaware of the whirlwind that surrounded her father and her savior. Watching them brought a smile to Anna's face. But deep down, questions churned. Where would this newfound connection lead? Could they bridge the gap between their lives? The fair was alive with celebration, but Anna felt the weight of unspoken truths clinging to the air like the sweet scent of funnel cakes. Suddenly, a commotion erupted nearby. She turned her head, curiosity piqued. What could possibly unfold next? The noise grew louder, and Anna instinctively turned toward the source. A small crowd had gathered near a pony ride, eyes wide and mouths agape. Some parents were filming on their phones, while others were rushing forward to see what had transpired. Fear pulsed through Anna, and she felt a lump form in her throat. Everything okay? She asked herself, unaware of just how worried she sounded. She followed the movement of the crowd, her heart thud-thudding in rhythm with the growing sense of urgency around her. Let us go see. Emily tugged on Anna's sleeve, still clutching the baby goat who was oblivious to the sudden change in mood. Okay, come on. Anna responded, though her own voice was strained. She led Emily through the throng, heart racing as they approached the center of the commotion. As they pushed through the crowd, Anna caught sight of a small child, maybe 4 or 5, crying uncontrollably. The child's mother was kneeling beside him, trying to soothe him while brushing away tears. Nearby, a pony stood patiently, the gentle creature's ears flicking back and forth, seemingly aware of the tension but remaining calm. What happened? Emily had raised her voice slightly, her big brown eyes searching for answers. She was still innocently enamored by the events, her earlier worries momentarily forgotten. A woman in a floral shirt, one of the fair's organizers, turned to them. The boy fell off the pony. He's okay, just scared. The ride's for little ones, but sometimes they get a little too excited. Anna's heart sank. It was a common hazard, but knowing that didn't ease the slight ache she felt. Children could be fragile, especially around animals much larger than themselves. Emily's brows knitted together, instinctively absorbing the unstable emotions swirling in the air. Can I help? She piped up, her voice bright, yet quivering with genuine concern. Maybe we should let the adults handle this, Anna started to say, but a glance at her earnest face made her pause. Emily was being drawn to the frightened child, and against her better judgment, Anna nodded. All right, but stay close. Carefully, with the baby goat still in her arms, Emily approached the small boy. It's okay. I used to be scared when I rode ponies too. They just want to be your friend, she said, her understanding spilling over the edge like a gentle wave. Anna watched as Emily knelt beside him, their gazes locking in a moment shared. The boy's sobs transformed into sniffles, captivated by Emily's genuine sincerity. It was as if she held an unspent magic that could bridge the gap between fear and bravery. In that heartbeat, Anna felt a rush of warmth course through her. It was an instinctive recognition of something powerful, a a strength that lay within a child who hadn't yet been bogged down by the weight of adult complexities. Was this the bravado Mark spoke of? Behind her, Anna sensed Mark returning, drawn back by the shifting energy. His expression went from confusion to admiration as he watched Emily. A traced line of pride softened his features, a contrast to the worry that had previously bear-hugged him. "Wow," he whispered, as though the moment transcended mere words. Anna's chest swelled, and she felt an unshakable desire to grasp this shared discovery. Maybe this exuberance of Emily's could reshape their conversation. The energy swirled around her, vibrant but tangled. But just then, a voice broke through the crowd, commanding attention. "What is going on here? Is everything?" Anna felt the sudden urgency in the air shift once more, turning her attention to a tall figure stepping forward. The authority in his tone was unmistakable, and it sent a flicker of unease down her spine. What did he want? Would he add another layer of tension to an already lit fuse? Anna held her breath as she strained to hear more of the unfolding drama. The day had taken unexpected turns, but she couldn't shake the feeling that it was only beginning. What was this man about to reveal? The man who emerged from the crowd stood tall, a crisp white shirt and dark trousers framing his serious face. His presence swept through the scene like a chill breeze, drawing attention away from the comforting chaos surrounding Emily and the little boy. "Officer Davis," someone called, and the crowd shifted, parting like the Red Sea to allow him closer. Intrigue rippled through the onlookers, their murmurs rising like a low, anxious hum. "What is the situation here?" he asked, eyes darting from the frightened child to the pony and finally landing on the organizer in the floral shirt. His voice was firm but laced with compassion. Anna watched, rooted in place. She felt a jolt of apprehension. This is supposed to be a fun day, she thought, not an interrogation. "Just a little accident," the organizer explained, brushing a stray hair behind her ear. "The boy fell off the pony, but he's all right. We're calming him down." The officer folded his arms, his gaze piercing. "We need to ensure all safety measures are in place. We can't have accidents like this happening, especially with so many families around." His authoritative tone made Anna's heart race. She understood the need for safety, but this felt too harsh, too heavy for the light-hearted atmosphere they had been enjoying moments ago. Emily, still kneeling beside the boy, kept whispering reassuring words, her innocent bravery now a bright beacon in the gathering gloom. Anna wanted to reach out, to restore the warmth that Officer Davis was unintentionally snuffing out. "Everything is going to be okay," Anna nearly called out, but her voice didn't quite make it. She swallowed the lump in her throat instead. "Is he hurt?" Officer Davis continued, his eyes narrowing slightly as he focused fully on the trembling child. "Let us check to make sure." The boy's mother tightened her grip on him, casting a wary look at the lawman. "He just got scared. He is not hurt." The protective fierceness in her voice caught Anna off guard. This mother, too, was fighting for calm amidst the chaos, her instincts kicking in. "I'm just doing my job," Officer Davis replied, lifting his chin. "But we should always prioritize our children's safety." Behind Anna, Mark shifted uneasily, his jaw tight. The tension was palpable, stifling. Anna sensed it, but she also felt the tug of something more profound, a need for connection, for unity, for everything this fair represented: safety, laughter, and togetherness. Then Emily stood up, still clutching the baby goat, as if it were a precious talisman. "Mr. Officer, he wasn't really hurt. It was just a little fall. See." She pointed to the pony, a gentle creature that stood nearby, swishing its tail. "Pony just wanted to say hi." The shift in the air was miraculous. A ripple of laughter mingled with the concern. Officer Davis raised an eyebrow, surprise softening his features momentarily as the child looked up at him, unblemished by fear now. "Sometimes, it just takes a little love and understanding," Anna whispered, more to herself than anyone else. The bond between Emily and the boy seemed to lighten the weight pressing against her heart. Just then, from the edge of the crowd, another figure emerged, a woman dressed in designer clothes, her high heels a stark contrast to the grass. "What is going on here, Davis? You can't just block a family day," she called, eyebrows arched, challenging his authority. A wave of confusion washed over the crowd, but Anna couldn't shift her gaze from Officer Davis, suddenly feeling like everything hung in the balance. Who was this new woman? And what would she do next? A shiver of uncertainty crept along Anna's spine. Would she escalate things further? Would the warmth Emily had sparked disappear into the encroaching tension? As the fair's joyful ambience dimmed around them, Anna knew that this was far from over. What secrets were about to surface? Would this truly be a moment that changed everything? Who do you think you are? The woman continued, stepping closer to Officer Davis, disdain etched on her perfectly manicured face. The crowd, once relaxed and buzzing with excitement, took a collective breath, sensing the shift in the atmosphere. Officer Davis clenched his jaw. I'm Officer Davis, and it's my duty to ensure the safety of everyone here, especially the children. That's rich coming from you, she retorted, crossing her arms defiantly. This is a family event, not a police station. Why don't you let things be? The tension hung heavy, weighing down the day that was supposed to be filled with laughter and joy. Anna felt her heart pounding, worry prickling at her skin like static electricity. It was supposed to be a day of connection. What was happening now? Emily tightened her grip around the baby goat, her innocent smile wavering slightly. The little boy, still trembling, looked between Officer Davis and the woman, fear creeping back into his eyes. Maybe we should just step back? Anna finally managed to interject, trying to ease the mounting pressure. We all want the same thing. The boy is fine. Let us not make it worse. The woman shot her a dismissive glance. And you are? Just another parent here for a fun day. Anna could feel the eyes of the crowd on her, the collective hopes resting on her words. Suddenly, she wanted nothing more than to uplift the mood, to remind everyone why they were there in the first place. It was a day of whimsy, of joy. Officer Davis's posture relaxed, his attention shifting slightly toward Anna. It's important to make sure that nothing like this happens again. Safety is non-negotiable. His voice held a clear resolve, but Anna sensed an undercurrent of softness too, an acknowledgement of the day's spirit that lay just beneath the surface. Maybe we could all agree on some simple guidelines? Anna offered, her voice warm. A way to ensure every parent feels safe without stepping on toes. The woman in designer clothes raised an eyebrow, as if contemplating the offer. Guidelines. Like what? You think a few rules would make Davis lighten up? Maybe it would. Emily spoke up, her bubbly confidence returning as she looked with determination at both adults. If we just all agree, no more crying. Only fun, right? A chuckle rippled through the crowd. Even Officer Davis cracked a small smile, almost against his will. It was as if Emily's childish wisdom was a charm, thawing the ice that had settled among them. Kids know how to bring people together, Officer Davis said. Thank you for that reminder, Emily. The woman, though still stiff, seemed to relent slightly. I suppose it's worth discussing. We don't want to ruin this day. As the crowd leaned in, Anna felt a flicker of hope. Maybe they could find common ground. Maybe this day wouldn't end in tension and conflict. But just as the whispers of agreement began to circulate, a loud crash echoed nearby. The tension snapped back like a rubber band, heads turning towards the sound. A carnival game tent had collapsed. Flaps fluttered wildly in the wind, and the booming laugh that had once filled the air turned into shrieks of surprise. Anna's heart raced as she searched the crowd. Could that sudden turn of events bring everyone back into discord? Or would it be the catalyst to unite them in a genuine act of compassion? Let us go check on that. Officer Davis shouted, his momentum shifting with purpose. As the audience began to move as one, Anna glanced at Emily, who was already sprinting toward the chaos, baby goat still clutched in her arms. Would they all band together in the face of a new crisis? Or would the day's spirit slip away like a whisper in the wind? Anna felt the weight of those questions as she rushed after them, determined to keep the festivity in their hearts amidst the storm. Anna's eyes darted around the scene, trying to take in the chaos. People were moving quickly, some rushing to help, others standing frozen in shock. The laughter and chatter had evaporated, replaced by a blend of gasps and frantic calls for help. Over here, Officer Davis barked, his voice cutting through the tumult. He had already made his way toward the fallen tent, moving with a confidence that made Anna's heart swell with respect. She followed closely behind, her instincts telling her the moment demanded action. The tent was a mess of bright colors and tangled poles. Several parents were kneeling on the grass, checking if their children were all right. Anna could see one little girl crying, her face smeared with dirt and tears. Emily, stay close. Anna called, spotting the girl darting toward the wreckage. The baby goat wiggled in her arms, clearly as confused as everyone else. "I'm fine, Mom," Emily shouted back, but Anna couldn't help the knot of worry tightening in her stomach. The safety of everyone around mattered, but Emily mattered most. A few people had already begun to lift the edges of the tent fabric, searching for anyone trapped beneath. The energy shifted. Fear was quickly met with resolve. "Is anyone inside?" A voice rang out. "Then get help." Officer Davis was already sprinting toward the cries. "Everyone stay calm. I need you all to help me check under the tent. We need to know if there are any injuries." Anna caught a glimpse of the little girl, still sobbing quietly, her parents trying to soothe her. "Help is on the way," Anna assured them, kneeling down to bring her face to the girl's level. "What is your name?" "Lila," she sniffled, eyes wide and fearful. "How old are you, Lila?" "7. 7. Anna repeated, smiling gently. "That is such a big age. You're so brave. Can you help me? Let us keep looking for other kids that might need a hug, all right?" Lila nodded, her tears slowing. Encouraged, Anna stood and scanned the crowd again. This was where their community stood strong, without hesitation. As people worked together, Anna's heart began to lighten. Officer Davis was coordinating with a few stragglers, directing them on which side to lift. Gradually, the tent began to rise, revealing the ground beneath bare, untouched, and safe. But then a new sound broke through the air. A woman's scream. It pierced the calm they were trying to build. Anna spun around to see the woman from before, the one who had clashed with Officer Davis. She was staring wide-eyed. "Where's my daughter?" she shouted, panic taking hold of her voice. There was a hushed silence. A few heads turned, eyes searching the crowd. Anna felt a chill in the air. "Please," the woman wailed. "She was right here." Anna's heart sank as she realized the woman's frantic energy could fracture the fragile peace they had just begun to create. "We'll help you," she called, rushing over. "What does she look like?" "We'll find her." The crowd began to murmur, a wave of anxiety rippling through as parents looked around for their own children. Anna could feel the urgency. This wasn't just another moment. This was a heart-stopping reality check. And then she heard a voice, a small, sweet voice calling out, "Mommy." From behind a cluster of worried onlookers, everyone turned, breath held tight. Anna's heart raced. What would happen next? Would they reach her before the intensity of fear took hold in the crowd yet again? The shift in the atmosphere was palpable, the hurried whispers of the crowd morphing into a collective hope. Anna's heart thudded in her chest as she turned to follow the sound of that small voice, knowing that they all needed to act fast. "Where is she?" the distraught mother pleaded, her eyes wide as she squinted through the shifting masses of bodies. Anna felt an urge to shout out, "Over here," as if that could somehow draw the little girl to them. Instead, she focused her attention on the parents, whispering to them to stay calm, to breathe. "We'll find her," she reassured, firmly but gently. As they crowded closer, everything seemed to slow. The familiar chaos of the fairground now blurred into a backdrop for this singular moment. Anna stepped forward, her voice steady despite the anxiety curling in her gut. "Can everyone please help guide us? If you see a little girl, just shout." It was like pulling a rope taut. People lined up, standing shoulder to shoulder, scanning the crowd. Officer Davis, still organizing the onlookers, remained focused. "Keep your eyes peeled," he yelled, his calm demeanor still cutting through the fear. "Lila, stay close," Anna called back to the little girl beside her, who was still clinging to her baby goat for comfort. Anna's heart sank again as she caught a glimpse of the frantic mother's face, wishing she had the power to alleviate her pain in an instant. Then, suddenly, from behind the clump of adults, a flash of bright yellow bobbed into view. "Mommy!" A small figure appeared, tucked between two taller individuals, her hair bouncing as she dashed forward, arms raised. "Kathy!" the mother cried, her voice breaking. She sprinted towards her little girl as Kathy's tiny frame staggered with energy, her face lit up with a wide smile that broke through the haze of panic. The mother's embrace enveloped her tightly, and in that moment, the world quieted. Anna felt a surge of relief wash over her, but knew the urgency wasn't over. The crowd watched, breaths released, as Kathy clung to her mother. However, it was still vital to account for others, to know every child was safe. "Is anyone else missing their children?" Officer Davis called out again, glancing back towards Anna. A mother, her face pale and shaking, stepped forward. My twins. They were right here, next to me, and then they just disappeared. Anna instinctively moved closer. What do they look like? She asked, tapping into her own strength and compassion. Jake and Jenna. They're 5. They were playing with balloons. As panic gripped the mother's voice, Anna felt a new rush of energy. They had to find them. Let us spread out again. If they're playing with balloons, they might be wandering off now. The crowd began to fan out again, tension thick in the air, and Anna resolutely called out, Jake, Jenna, come back to your mom. We're looking for you. Lila stood beside Anna, echoing her words with childlike determination. Jake, Jenna. As they searched, Anna felt an ache in her chest, the kind that came from realizing how quickly life could change. She exchanged a look with Officer Davis, and their shared concern carried a weight that no words could describe. Then, just as Anna began to fear the worst, a small giggle echoed through the chaos. Everyone paused, hearts fluttering. Over here, a little voice rang out, just at the edge of the crowd. An uproar of hope sparked as heads turned eagerly. But would they find Jake and Jenna? Would this moment lead to joy or renewed fear? Gripping Lila's tiny hand, Anna felt the power of community. They had to face the unknown. What lay ahead was still uncertain, but every heartbeat inside her bolstered a promise of hope. Let us go, Anna urged, determination blazing in her eyes as they moved toward the sound. Would they discover the twins safe, or would this search lead to deeper fears? The answers were just ahead. Anna pushed through the thick crowd, her heart racing as she followed the unmistakable sound of laughter that had pierced the tension-filled air. Lila clung to her side, eyes wide with a mix of confusion and determination. I can see, Lila exclaimed, pointing forward, barely able to contain her excitement. As they drew closer, the laughter grew louder, more joyous. Anna instinctively reached for her phone, ready to capture this moment of hope unfolding in front of her. A surge of energy washed over her, merging with the crowd's silent anticipation. Stay close, Lila, she whispered, half to herself and half to the little girl. But Lila seemed undeterred, her spirit shining brightly despite the chaos surrounding them. Suddenly, just ahead, Anna caught a glimpse of 2 small figures tangled up in vibrant colors. Tiny arms were flailing, grasping at colorful balloons, their giggles erupting contagious joy into the air. Jake and Jenna, draped in their bright capes, danced around a concession stand. The little girl with chocolate-streaked cheeks handed one of her balloons to a bewildered vendor, who looked bewildered yet enchanted. Mommy, Jenna squealed, her face lighting up as she saw her mother, who had now rushed toward them, relief flooding her features. But instead of running back, Jake paused, his tiny feet dug into the ground. He scanned the crowd, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. Anna's breath hitched as she reached out instinctively, calling his name. Jake, it's okay. Your mom is here. At the sound of her voice, he turned toward her, and for a moment, time hung in the balance. The connection felt electric, a shared understanding that they were all in this together. Lila, Anna exclaimed, excitement bubbling up in her chest. Go stand by their mom. Make sure she knows they're safe. Without hesitation, Lila sprinted toward the frantic mother, who was now sobbing tears of relief. As Anna made her way to Jake, the noise of the fairground faded into the distance. It was just him, her, and the overwhelming surge of emotions that swirled through the moment. Jake, Anna knelt, trying to meet his gaze directly. You did such a great job having fun, but your mom is really worried about you. Let's go back to her together, okay? His eyes, wide and glistening, searched Anna's. I was just making friends, he said softly, as if justifying his small adventure. Anna nodded earnestly, the corners of her lips lifting. Making friends is wonderful, but your mom needs you now. Let us do it together. Taking his tiny hand, Anna felt the warmth of hope radiate through their skin contact. The closer they walked back toward the gathering crowd, the louder the world seemed to become. Lila stood next to their mother, bouncing with excitement, mirroring the joy and relief that echoed across the fairground. As they approached, cheers erupted around them, a celebration of togetherness and familial love. Jake, Jenna, their mother exclaimed, enveloping them both in an embrace that seemed to lift them off their feet. Anna felt her heart swell at the sight. It was moments like these that reminded her of the power of community, the fierce bonds of love that could rise from chaos. Yet, as joyful as it was, she couldn't shake the slight feeling of unease creeping back into her chest. Despite the joy now filling the air, a nagging thought tugged at her. She glanced back toward Officer Davis, who was still scanning for others in need. Was this the last of the missing children? Or was there still more to be discovered in this swirling sea of faces? As warmth and laughter blossomed around her, Anna felt a small chill slip down her spine. The evening was becoming a sweet memory for some, but how many more were still caught in the shadows of worry? "Lila, stay by me," she murmured, the unexpected gravity of the night still weighing heavily on her mind. "I have a feeling there's more to this story." And as the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the fairground, hope and trepidation mingled together. What would they discover next? As the sun began its descent, casting a golden glow across the fairground, Anna turned her attention back to the vibrant scene. Laughter soared through the air, mingling with the sweet smell of cotton candy and popcorn. But within that joy, a whisper of tension still lingered. The joy of reuniting lost children was a balm, but Anna sensed that the fair wasn't done with its surprises yet. "Maybe it's time to gather everyone. Let us make sure all the kids are accounted for," Anna suggested, looking around for Officer Davis. She spotted him nearby, still engaged with a few parents, reassuring them of safety guidelines. The officer's authoritative demeanor was softened by the light of the setting sun, his silhouette casting a long shadow against the backdrop of the fair. With determination, Anna approached him. "Officer Davis, it might be smart to announce a head count, just to be sure no one else is missing." Her heart raced at the thought of more families in distress. "Great idea," he replied, his voice deep yet warm. "I'll gather a few volunteers to help. Safety always comes first, no matter how many balloons are in the air." As Officer Davis took charge, Anna turned back to the growing crowd of families. There was a ripple of commotion as parents began forming clusters, their faces bright with delight or etched with worry. Her heart swayed with empathy for both sides. Behind her, Mark emerged from the shadows, his expression thoughtful and a hint of admiration lingering on his face. "Anna," he called gently, his tone infused with sincerity. "You were incredible today, truly." His eyes flashed a mix of gratitude and realization. "Mark," she replied, surprised to see him so engaged. "I just want everyone to feel safe here. No one should feel the despair of losing a child in a place meant for joy." He nodded, understanding unfolding between them like a secret shared only through action. Just then, Emily dashed over, her cheeks flushed with excitement. "Did you see? I helped that little boy feel better." She squealed, her hands flailing joyously, the baby goat almost slipping her grip. "Yes, you were so brave." Anna beamed, her heart swelling with pride for both her daughter and Mark's. "And you've spread kindness all around today." Laughter erupted from the crowd as children erupted in a game, spinning joyfully beneath the fading light as parents watched with tender smiles, including the frantic mother who now had her twins back safely by her side. But Anna's attention was drawn back to Mark. A flicker of uncertainty passed through his gaze. "Anna, I need to ask, after everything, would you consider, maybe, being a bigger part of this community?" The question hung in the air, laden with possibility. Anna paused, taking sure steps forward, feeling the ground beneath her shift. "I've spent so long trying to build a life for Lily, but what about us? Each of us has dreams, but what happens when the needs of our hearts collide?" It was raw and real, and she felt the truth pierce through their previously unspoken boundaries. A slow smile spread across Mark's face, his eyes reflecting newfound understanding. "We can build something together. We can help each other flourish. I saw today what community really means. It's the connection to the person beside you, no matter their background." Just then, the voice of Officer Davis cut through the calm dusk. "All right, everyone. To ensure every child is accounted for, let us gather for a quick head count. Please call out if any little ones are missing." In that moment, Anna felt a surge of hope. The chaos transformed into cooperation. Each voice rang out with laughter, joy, and the comfort of knowing that together, they could build a stronger Maplewood. As they all began to assemble, the last vestiges of tension melted away into shared laughter. Anna took a breath, feeling warmth radiate from the community, a family forged not just by geographic proximity, but by the bonds of empathy and kindness that had sprouted in this chaotic whirlwind. Lily clutched her hand, her eyes sparkling with joy. "Mommy, are we going to be okay?" she asked earnestly. "Yes, love," Anna replied, glancing at Mark, who offered a sincere nod. "We're more than okay. We're going to be a part of something beautiful." The crowd buzzed with energy, a tangible force of connection grounding them in the shared experience of life's unpredictability. "All right, let us count heads." Officer Davis signaled, and the fair became alive with hope, laughter, and a promise for tomorrow. As the sun set behind the fairground, the vibrant hues of orange and purple painted the sky, signifying a new beginning for all present. This was more than just a fair. It was a celebration of community, of hope, and bold new futures. Anna smiled, reflecting on how far they had come, knowing the journey ahead held endless possibilities. And with that, Anna's heart brimmed with gratefulness, filled with the belief that every person, no matter their place in the world, could make a difference. So, let us keep this story going. If you've loved this moment, you need to subscribe now to stay tuned for more transformative journeys. Every like helps feed that algorithm, so don't wait not even one more second. Hit that like button, and share this inspiring tale with at least 5 friends who need a little uplift in their lives. Comment below with your thoughts and emotions about the ending. Your voice matters in this community.